In his thought-provoking book, The Wisdom of Insecurity, Alan Watts introduces us to a powerful concept, the backward law. This concept challenges our conventional understanding of how to achieve our goals and find happiness. It suggests that our usual approach of striving and struggling might actually be counterproductive. This law states that the more we strive for something, the more elusive it becomes. Imagine chasing a butterfly. The more you run after it, the further it flies away. This is a metaphor for many aspects of our lives, where our intense efforts can sometimes push our goals further out of reach. Like trying to stay afloat by desperately grabbing at water, our forceful pursuit pushes away what we desire. When we try too hard to control outcomes, we often find ourselves more entangled in the very problems we seek to solve. This can be seen in our relationships, careers, and personal growth. Watts uses the example of trying not to think about a purple elephant. The moment we tell ourselves not to think about it, the image becomes even more vivid in our minds. This paradox highlights how our minds work against us when we exert too much control. The harder we try to avoid the thought, the more prominently it occupies our minds. This is a common experience in meditation and mindfulness practices, where the effort to clear the mind can lead to more mental clutter. This illustrates how our conscious efforts often backfire, leading us further from our desired outcomes. When we hit a wall in our endeavors, it's often because we're trying too hard to force a solution rather than allowing it to unfold naturally. The backward law applies to our relentless pursuit of security. In our quest for stability and certainty, we often create more stress and anxiety for ourselves. The more we try to build a perfect life, the more fragile it becomes, like a house of cards. We crave certainty in an uncertain world, but this yearning only amplifies our feelings of insecurity. Our attempts to predict and control the future can lead to a constant state of worry and unease, preventing us from enjoying the present moment. By understanding this paradox, we can begin to unlock a more fulfilling way of life. Embracing uncertainty and letting go of the need for control can lead to a deeper sense of peace and contentment. When we stop fighting against the natural flow of life, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences. Practicing acceptance and mindfulness can help us navigate the complexities of life with greater ease. By focusing on the present moment and letting go of our attachment to specific outcomes, we can find joy and satisfaction in the here and now. The backward law teaches us that true happiness and fulfillment come not from relentless striving, but from embracing the journey and finding contentment in the process. When we let go of our need to control everything, we create space for genuine connections, creativity, and spontaneous joy. So the next time you find yourself caught in the cycle of striving and struggling, remember the wisdom of the backward law. Take a step back, breathe, and allow life to unfold naturally. You might just find that what you were seeking comes to you effortlessly when you stop chasing it. The backward law is a gentle reminder that sometimes less is more. By letting go of our need to control and allowing ourselves to be present, we can discover a deeper, more meaningful way of living. Embrace the paradox and find peace in the present moment. Watts argues that our desire for security is rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of reality. We perceive ourselves as separate entities, constantly striving for control in a chaotic world. This illusion of separation fuels our anxieties and propels our search for something solid to hold on to. We seek security in various forms: wealth, relationships, possessions, or ideologies. We believe that by accumulating these external things, we can shield ourselves from life's inherent uncertainties. However, this pursuit is ultimately futile. True security, Watts suggests, cannot be found in the external world. It arises from a deep acceptance of our place within the ever-changing flow of existence. Watts wrote, "The wisdom of insecurity in the mid-20th century, a time marked by significant societal shifts and growing anxieties. The post-war era was a period of rapid change, with technological advancements and economic growth reshaping the landscape of everyday life. People were adjusting to new realities, and the sense of stability that had once been provided by traditional structures was beginning to erode." He observed that the decline of traditional structures and the rise of individualism left people feeling increasingly unmoored. The sense of community that had once been a cornerstone of society was giving way to a more fragmented and isolated existence. Individuals were now expected to navigate their own paths, often without the support systems that had previously been in place. The rapid pace of technological advancement, coupled with the erosion of traditional values, created a sense of unease and disorientation. The world was becoming more interconnected, yet people felt more disconnected than ever. The constant barrage of information and the pressure to keep up with the latest trends and innovations only added to the stress and anxiety. Watts believed that this pervasive anxiety stemmed from our inability to reconcile ourselves with the impermanent nature of life. He argued that our constant striving for security and certainty was at odds with the fundamental reality of existence, which is inherently uncertain and ever-changing. By clinging to the illusion of permanence, we only deepen our sense of insecurity. He argued that our modern crisis was, at its core, a spiritual one. The loss of traditional religious and spiritual frameworks had left a void that many people were struggling to fill. In the absence of these guiding principles, individuals were left to seek meaning and purpose in a world that often seemed chaotic and devoid of deeper significance. We had become so fixated on material progress and external validation that we had lost touch with our inner selves and our connection to something larger than ourselves. The relentless pursuit of success, wealth, and status had led to a culture of constant comparison and competition, where self-worth was measured by external achievements rather than inner fulfillment. This disconnection from our true selves and from the world around us was, according to Watts, the root cause of our modern anxiety. To address this crisis, Watts suggested that we need to shift our focus inward and cultivate a deeper awareness of our own thoughts and feelings. By embracing the present moment and accepting the impermanent nature of life, we can begin to find a sense of peace and stability within ourselves. This inner transformation, he believed, was the key to overcoming the anxiety of modern life and reconnecting with a sense of purpose and meaning. In essence, Watts called for a return to a more mindful and intentional way of living, where we prioritize our inner well-being over external achievements. By fostering a sense of connection to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us, we can begin to heal the spiritual wounds that underlie our modern anxieties. This holistic approach to life, which integrates mind, body, and spirit, offers a path to true fulfillment and lasting peace. Section 4. Trapped in time. One of the primary sources of our insecurity, according to Watts, is our preoccupation with time. We often find ourselves caught in a relentless cycle of worrying about the future and regretting the past. This constant focus on time creates a sense of unease and anxiety that permeates our daily lives. We dwell on past regrets and anxieties about the future, preventing ourselves from fully experiencing the present moment. Our minds become a battleground where memories of past mistakes and fears of future uncertainties clash, leaving little room for the peace and contentment that can be found in the here and now. Our minds are constantly pulled in different directions, replaying past events or anticipating future outcomes. This mental tug-of-war distracts us from the simple pleasures and meaningful experiences that are available to us in the present moment. We become so engrossed in our thoughts that we fail to notice the beauty of a blooming flower, the warmth of the sun on our skin, or the laughter of a loved one. This mental time travel robs us of the joy and peace that can be found in simply being present. When we allow ourselves to be fully immersed in the present moment, we open ourselves up to a world of wonder and tranquility. We begin to appreciate the small, seemingly insignificant details that make life rich and fulfilling. Watts compares our situation to that of a person who is unable to enjoy a piece of music because they are too busy thinking about the notes they have already heard or the ones yet to come. Just as a piece of music is meant to be experienced in its entirety, with each note flowing seamlessly into the next, our lives are meant to be lived in the present, with each moment building upon the last. We become so fixated on the past and future that we miss the beauty and richness of the present moment. The hustle and bustle of daily life often distracts us from the simple joys that surround us. We rush from one task to the next, our minds preoccupied with what has been and what is yet to come, and in doing so we overlook the vibrant tapestry of life unfolding before our eyes. By learning to let go of our preoccupation with time, we can begin to savor the present moment and find a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. Section 5, and the limits of language. Watts was a gifted communicator, yet he also recognized the limitations of language in conveying the fullness of reality. He argued that words are merely symbols, pointing to but never fully capturing the essence of our experiences. Our reliance on language, while essential for communication, can also create a sense of separation between ourselves and the world around us. We become trapped in our heads, analyzing and dissecting experiences instead of simply living them. This is particularly true when it comes to our understanding of abstract concepts like security, happiness, or enlightenment. These words carry different meanings for each individual, making it challenging to find common ground or convey their true essence.